The most interesting statements are those that give a feeling of having truth in an experience that I've had. So, when I read why wanting it too badly ruins everything, those words made me relive the times of my life where when I wanted something so badly, and in my haste of trying to get that thing, it ruined everything. In my younger years, when I had a crush on this girl and I wanted to be with her so badly, I didn't want to say or do things that would offend her. So when I talked to her, I was nervous when I spoke because my mind was filtering out words that had a chance of offending her. And in doing so, I was communicating with her through a filtered lens, and she was hearing words with an agenda of not offending her. So it came off as ingenuine, and that made things worse and was unable to connect with her because that wasn't really me. So me wanting her badly made things worse. I was better off just being myself. At least I would have been genuine. Wanting something badly displays desperation in everything you say or do. Because wanting something badly means you cannot walk away from it. And since you can't walk away from it, you can't say or do things that can mess things up. So that means you are limited in the actions you can take when you can't walk away. Wanting things badly tends to create desperation. Desperation then limits the actions you can take. And with your limited actions, the chances of you getting what you wanted so badly is now dramatically reduced. That's not to say you can't get what you want, but it can't be to the point where you can't walk away. This was the video that made me relive those scenes. Let's see if there's more we can learn about this.
What if I told you, the moment you stop chasing your dreams, everything you've ever wanted starts to find you, and all you had to do was let go. The person you wanted finally calls. The opportunity you were begging for appears. The peace you've been chasing finds you, because there's a strange thing that happens when you finally let go. It's like the universe suddenly starts working in your favor, but the more you try to control it, the more it slips away. You felt it before, when you wanted something so badly that it controlled you. You thought about it constantly, and yet the harder you tried, the further it got. Not because you didn't deserve it, but because you were chasing it from a place of scarcity. You let the...
That's similar to what I was saying. Desperation, scarcity, basically the same thing. And you have to understand, you don't have as much control as you think. You're not the only person in this world. Everybody is, everybody's living together. And the control that you have, when you try to control too much, it always backfires. You don't have that much control.
Come decide how you felt. But what if the secret to getting everything you want is to stop needing it?
That's it. That's exactly what it is. Not needing it. You want it, but you don't need it, meaning you can walk away from it. When you need it, you can't walk away from it, right?
Called the law of detachment. And if you understand it, it can change your entire life. So imagine there's someone you really liked. You're constantly thinking about them. You text them first every time. You check if they've seen your story, and if they don't reply, it ruins your mood. You start replaying every conversation in your head. What did I say wrong? Did I do something? But what you're really doing is giving them power over how you feel. You've built a fantasy, an image of who they are and what this could be. And when reality doesn't match that fantasy, you get hurt. That's attachment. Tying your peace to an outcome you can't control. And here's the paradox. The more attached you are to something, the faster it slips away. When you're constantly available, constantly checking in, you're radiating this desperate energy that screams, I need this to feel whole. But people and life itself are drawn to energy that doesn't need it. We're attracted to what feels rare because we assume rare things have more value. And when you're attached, you make yourself appear less valuable. You stop acting like yourself. You settle for less just to keep the hope alive that it might work out. And that's why you lose your value, because you've placed all of it in something outside of yourself. But the moment you pull back, everything starts to shift. Suddenly, the person who ignored you starts noticing you. Opportunities begin to appear. Things begin to flow again. And it's not magic. It's detachment. It's like when you're looking for something you've lost. You can never seem to find it, but the moment you stop searching, it's right there in front of you. That's what letting go really is. It's not losing interest. It's losing the need to control the outcome. And that's when things finally start to fall into place.
Like I said, when you try to control the outcome, you're limited in the things you can control, right? Because you don't want to mess it up. Why not wanting to mess it up, now you have little room to wiggle around, right? So you can still want it, but don't want it too badly. You know what I mean? You have to be okay. This is like something deep inside you have to look to be okay with letting it go. That's very hard to do, because letting things go makes us feel uncomfortable, at least when you're younger.
But let me make this very clear. I'm not telling you to stop chasing your dreams and hope the universe just hands them to you. And I'm not telling you to ghost your crush because you think it'll make them want you more. What I am telling you is to stop tying your happiness to how something turns out.
That's right. And I don't even think it's the amount of time you want to communicate. You can communicate as much as you want. It's the way you think about it. Like, you can talk to somebody all day, but talking to them without that desperation is very good. But if you try to talk to them all day, not to make sure they're not doing nothing, you start compiling fears in your head where you start creating scenarios of things that's probably not happening.
Like someone, tell them. If you want something, pursue it. Just don't let the outcome control your worth. You're not giving up. You're allowing everything to fall into place the way it's meant to. Because what's meant for you won't need to be forced. And what isn't meant for you won't stay, no matter how hard you try and hold on.
That's true.
And here's the mistake that most people make. You can't fake detachment. You can't pretend to not care while secretly refreshing your phone, waiting for them to text back, or acting
Yeah, you cannot play no games. Human beings can detect all this. Like, we're so good at seeing if something is fake. You cannot fake that you're not, that you're not attached to somebody, because they can easily test that out. Once you get tested, the real comes to light. So if you try to communicate to that girl in a way, now you're waiting 2 hours, she's gonna realize, why is this guy every time waiting 2 hours? This seems too choreographed. Especially girls, they're very attuned and very keen to seeing this.
Bothered when deep down the outcome still controls your emotions. People can see right through that. The universe can too. Real detachment is recognizing when your ego is in control. The part that clings, fantasizes, and tells you you're only worthy if you get what you want. When you're attached, your ego creates illusions. You turn people into something they aren't. You force meaning onto situations that were never meant to hold it. And when reality doesn't match the fantasy, you suffer. But when you detach, you shift from desperation to something I call the healthy pursuit. You go after what you want, but your happiness doesn't depend on getting it. You reach out to the person you like, but you don't tie your self-worth to their response. You chase your goals, but don't let failure break you. You stop trying to control everything and start allowing things to unfold. There's a saying, when you expect nothing, everything becomes a gift. Because your value is no longer tied to outcomes. It's found in the moment. If you don't get the job, you trust something better is coming. If someone walks away, you trust that space has a purpose. If things fall apart, you trust it's because something else needs room to grow.
Not only that, when your mind is more open now, because you're no longer attached to a certain outcome you want, you start to see things that are, you see other things as more beautiful. You start to realize that relationship that you wanted is not as good as this other relationship that you might get. Does that make sense? You start to see things more. Your eyes start to clear. What looked like what you wanted might have not even been what you wanted.
And no, it's not easy. Detachment is one of the hardest things you'll ever do.
The hardest.
It requires self-worth, patience, and presence. But it starts with this. Stop doing things solely because you want something in return. Start doing things for the experience itself. Because when you finally stop chasing, what's meant for you finally has the space to arrive. But there's one crucial part about detachment that almost everyone gets wrong. Letting go isn't just about releasing the outcome. It's about becoming the person who already has it. And if you don't understand this part, detachment won't work. Because the universe doesn't respond to your intentions, it responds to your identity. When you detach, you shift who you are at the deepest level, the unconscious. Your unconscious mind is the part of you that controls your habits, your decisions, your energy, your behavior, even the opportunities you notice. Whatever your unconscious believes to be true, it finds a way to make it real. That's why the placebo effect exists. Think about it. People on fake medicine have healed from illnesses not because of the...
That also shows the power of the mind, how strong it is. The way you think can literally, physically affect your body.
pill, but because their unconscious believed something had changed. Your brain is the most powerful force in your reality. If you feed it a belief with enough certainty, it begins reshaping your world to match it. And that's why detachment is so powerful. When you stop chasing something and start acting like someone who already has it, your unconscious starts to believe it. It becomes...
This also goes to show what you feed your mind. Like, what you feed your body is very visible on the exterior. You're going to gain weight, or you might gain muscle if you work out. But what you feed your mind is not really, it's not showing up. Like, you were not able to notice it as easily. So you have to make sure to work out your mind the same way you work out your body, by feeding yourself information that actually improves your life, instead of watching stuff that might improve your fear, watching stuff that is dangerous to your mind, or things that reduce your attention span, like short form content. Yeah.
a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you dream of becoming an entrepreneur, start moving like one now. Prioritize your time, wake up with purpose, commit to your craft, carry yourself like someone who knows success is inevitable. If you want love, become the kind of person who loves themselves first, not because it's trendy, but because someone who values themselves radiates the energy that attracts love without chasing it. If you want opportunities, start showing up as the person who deserves them. Because you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And when you become the identity that aligns with your desires, you stop needing the outcome. And that's exactly when it finds you. Life rearranges itself around the version of you who's ready. Not because you forced it, but because you aligned with it. There's a version of you 10 years from now. The version who has everything you're dreaming of today. And the only way to meet that version is to start being them right now. Every decision you make, ask, how would the future me, the one who has everything, choose? Would they chase, or would they move with certainty, peace, and self-respect? Are you chasing the life you want, or becoming the person who naturally attracts it? Because what is meant for you will find you, but only when you stop gripping so tightly that you push it away. So detach from outcomes. Detach from the idea that your value comes from anything outside of yourself. Attachment leads to suffering. Detachment leads to freedom. The freedom to live a life where you aren't controlled by results or fear. When you stop trying to control everything, you become one with everything. And in that state, nothing is scarce anymore. That's the secret. Not to chase, but to become. Because what is meant for you will find you. The moment you finally let go.
Hey, that sounds kind of cliche, but it's true. It's very true. Like, think about it. When you're attached to something, you don't have control of the outcome. When you're attached to something, it's usually something exterior from you, and that exterior is not you. You don't control that. And when that changes, now you change. Now, how could you be comfortable with yourself when what you attach to yourself keeps changing? There's nothing stable inside you that can basically make you more comfortable with yourself. So you're not always trying to keep up with all these other stuff. You know what I mean? Really, attachment. I mean, it has good things. You want to be attached a little bit, but not to the point where you can't disattach, where you deeply ingrained your roots into whatever that is. Now that thing controls you. That thing controls your happiness. That thing controls your sadness and all of that. You don't want that, whatever it might be. So you have to work on not getting too attached and not worrying too much about the outcome. Because in this world, you don't control much. So you have to find ways to be okay with that. Thank you for watching.